After a federal election, which party forms the new government? A. The party with the most elected representatives is invited by the Governor-General to become the party in power. B. The Queen herself picks any party to run the government. C. The Governor-General proposes a law for elected officials to become the governing body. D. The premiers of each province pick a party to run the government. Fatima is a new immigrant in Canada. What law allows her to take a job at par with a man? A. Equality of women and men. B. Equality of all races. C. Equal pay for equal work. D. Equal rights. Give an example of where English and French have equal status in Canada. A. In schools. B. In the workplace. C. In the Parliament of Canada. D. At City Hall. Give the first two lines of Canada's national anthem. A. O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. B. O Canada, our province and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. C. O Canada, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. D. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. How are members of Parliament chosen? A. Appointed by the Prime Minister. B. Elected by Canadian citizens. C. Appointed by the Queen. D. Elected by the provincial ministers. How are senators chosen? A. By the Governor-General of Canada. B. By the premiers of all provinces. C. Appointed by the Queen. D. Senators are appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. How does a bill become a law? A. The Lieutenant Governor must approve the bill. B. Approval by a majority in the House of Commons and Senate, and finally the Governor-General. C. The Queen must sign the bill. D. Approval by the members of the Legislative Assembly. How is a cabinet minister chosen? A. By the Queen. B. By the voters. C. By other cabinet ministers. D. By the Prime Minister. How many Canadians have been awarded the Victoria Cross, VC, the highest honor available to Canadians? A. 56. B. 96. C. 1024. D. 42. Indiana, Canada, are you allowed to question the police about their service or conduct? A. No, police service and conduct is not open to discussion with Canadians. B. Yes, you can question their service but not their conduct. C. Yes, you can question their conduct but not their service. D. Yes, if you feel the need to. In the 1960s, Quebec experienced an era of rapid change. What is this called? A. The West Movement. B. The Revolution. C. The Quiet Revolution. D. La Francophonie. In which region do more than half the people in Canada live? A. Central Canada. B. Prairies. C. Atlantic Canada. D. Northern Canada. Name all the federal political parties in the House of Commons and their leaders. A. Conservative, Scheer, NDP, Singh, Liberal, Trudeau, Bloc Québécois, Alouette, Green Party, May. B. Conservative, Harper, Green, May, Liberal, Trudeau, Bloc Québécois, Duestions. C. NDP, Miller, Green, May, Liberal, Ray, Bloc Québécois, Pale. D. Liberal, Ignatif, Conservative, Ambrose, NDP, Turmel, Green, May. Name 6 responsibilities of citizenship. A. Getting a job, making money, raising a family, paying taxes, mowing your lawn, voting in provincial elections. B. Voting in municipal elections only, joining a political party, getting a job, obeying the law, driving safely, picking up litter. C. Caring for the environment, not littering, paying taxes, obeying the law, helping others, respecting others. D. Obeying the law, taking responsibility for oneself and one's family, helping others in the community, voting in elections, serving on a jury, protecting and enjoying our heritage and environment. Name 2 fundamental freedoms protected by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. A. Freedom of conscience and religion, and freedom of association. B. Equality rights, and to care for Canada's heritage. C. Basic freedoms, and obeying laws. D. Aboriginal people's rights, and to volunteer. Name 2 responsibilities of the federal government. A. National defense and firefighting. B. National defense and foreign policy. C. Citizenship and highways. D. Recycling and education. On what date did Nunavut become a territory? A. July 1, 1867, B. April 1, 1999, C. June 24, 1995, D. March 31, 1949. The Canadian coat of arms and motto is Ameriusque ad mare. This means, A. From the ocean to the sea. B. From sea to sea. C. From the sea to the ends of the earth. D. From the water to the earth. What are some examples of taking responsibility for yourself and your family? A. Buying a house and a TV. B. Getting a job, taking care of one's family and working hard in keeping with one's abilities. C. Doing laundry and keeping the house clean. D. Study hard so you can earn enough money to take a vacation. What are the Prairie provinces and their capital cities? A. Alberta, Edmonton, and Saskatchewan, Regina. B. Alberta, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Regina, and Manitoba, Winnipeg. C. Saskatchewan, Regina, and Manitoba, Winnipeg. D. Saskatchewan, Regina, Manitoba, Winnipeg, and Ontario, Toronto. What are the provinces of Central Canada and their capital cities? A. Manitoba, Winnipeg, and Ontario, Toronto. B. Quebec, Quebec City, and Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown. C. Ontario, Toronto, and Quebec, Quebec City. D. Saskatchewan, Regina, and Manitoba, Winnipeg. What are the territories of Northern Canada and their capital cities? A. Alaska, Juneau, and Yukon Territory, Whitehorse. B. Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, and Alaska, Juneau. C. Northwest Territories, Yellowknife. D. Yukon Territory, Whitehorse, Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, and Nunavut, Iqaluit. What are the three levels of government in Canada? A. Federal, provincial and territorial, municipal, local. B. Federal, provincial and city. C. Federal, territorial and provincial. D. Federal, state and local. What are the three main groups of Aboriginal peoples? A. First Nations, Métis and Inuit. B. Acadians, Métis and Inuit. C. United Empire Loyalists, Métis and Inuit. D. Inuit, Métis and Acadians. What are the three main types of industry in Canada? A. Natural resources, tourism and service industries. B. Tourism, services and manufacturing. C. Natural resources, tourism and manufacturing. D. Natural resources, manufacturing and services. What are the three parts of Parliament? A. The Sovereign, Governor-General and Prime Minister. B. The House of Commons, the Legislative Assembly and a Senate. C. The Queen, the Legislative Assembly and a Senate. D. The Sovereign, the House of Commons and the Senate. What did the Canadian Pacific Railway symbolize? A. Easy access to the West Coast. B. What can be achieved by working together? C. Unity. D. Ribbons of steel. What did the Fathers of Confederation do? A. They worked together to establish a new country, the Dominion of Canada. B. They were explorers who formed an expedition to survey northern Canada. C. They formed a republic state in Canada. D. They were a group of politicians that tried to unite Canada to the United States. What do you call a law before it is passed? A. A new law. B. A proposed law. C. A bill. D. A new proposal. What do you mark on a federal election ballot? A. The candidate's name. B. The number for the candidate. C. An X. D. The voter's name. What does Confederation mean? A. The United States Confederate soldiers came to Canada. B. Joining of communities to become a province. C. Joining of suburbs to form a large city. D. Joining of provinces to make a new country. What does it mean to say Canada is a constitutional monarchy? A. The sovereign, queen or king, is the lawmaker of Canada. B. Canada's head of state is a hereditary sovereign, queen or king, who reigns in accordance with the Constitution. C. The sovereign, queen or king, represents Canadians in Parliament. D. The sovereign, queen or king, approves bills before becoming law. What is a major river in Quebec? A. Fraser River. B. St. Lawrence River. C. Niagara. D. Hudson's Bay. What is a voter information card? A. Tells you who the candidates are in your electoral district. B. Tells you what province to vote in. C. A form that tells you when and where to vote. D. A form that lets you know your voting time. What is Canada's system of government called? A. Dictatorship. B. Parliamentary government. C. Military rule. D. Communism. What is meant by the equality of women and men? A. Men and women are equal under the law. B. Men and women must both do housework. C. Women may now go to school and enter the professional workforce. D. A woman may now become Prime Minister. What is the head tax? A. Race-based entry fee charged for Chinese entering Canada. B. Fee charged for anyone entering Canada after 1900. C. A tax imposed on their beginning in 1867. D. Fee charged for moving westward in the early 1900s. What is the capital city of Alberta? A. Medicine Hat. B. Red Deer. C. Calgary. D. Edmonton. What is the highest court in Canada? A. The Queen's Court. B. The Senate Court of Canada. C. The Supreme Court of Canada. D. The Crown Court of Canada. What is the role of the courts in Canada? A. To enforce the law. B. To guide people in our society. C. To settle disputes. D. To express values and beliefs of Canadians. What is the role of the opposition parties? A. To assist the Prime Minister. B. To sign bills. C. To oppose or try to improve government proposals. D. To put forward bills to be passed. What is the significance of the discovery of insulin by Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best? A. Insulin is a hormone that permits you to eat anything you wish. B. Insulin has saved 16 million lives worldwide. C. Discovering insulin opened the doors to more discoveries. D. Discovering insulin made Drs. Banting and Best famous. What part of the Constitution legally protects the basic rights and freedoms of all Canadians? A. The British Charter of Rights and Freedoms. B. The Canadian Charter of Rights. C. The Canadian Charter of Freedoms. D. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. What should you do if you do not receive a voter information card telling you when and where to vote? A. Go to the police station. B. Call your member of parliament. C. Assume you cannot vote. D. Call Elections Canada or visit their website. What three oceans border Canada? A. Atlantic, Arctic and Bering. B. Atlantic, Arctic and Pacific. C. Pacific, Indian and Atlantic. D. Hudson, Pacific and Atlantic. What was the Underground Railroad? A. An anti-slavery network that helped thousands of slaves escape the United States and settle in Canada. B. A railroad through the Rockies that was mainly through mountain tunnels. C. A network fur traders used to transport beaver pelts to the United States. D. The first underground subway tunnel in Toronto. What will you promise when you take the oath of citizenship? A. Pledge allegiance to the Queen, observe the laws of Canada and fulfill the duties of a Canadian. B. Pledge to be faithful to the Queen. C. Promise to observe the laws of Canada. D. Fulfill duties as a Canadian citizen. What year was Confederation? A. 1867. B. 1871. C. 1898. D. 1864. When did the British North America Act come into effect? A. 1871. B. 1898. C. 1867. D. 1905. When must federal elections be held? A. About every 4 years. B. On the third Monday in October every 4 years following the most recent general election. C. Whenever the Prime Minister calls the election. D. When the MPs want a new Prime Minister. When you vote on election day, what do you do? A. Go to the voting station, tell them who you are and mark your X. Give the ballot back to the attendant. B. Go to the voting station, remove one ballot and after marking your X deposit it in the ballot box. C. Go to the voting station, take your voter's card with proof of identity, highlight your choice on the ballot and deposit it in the box. D. Go to the voting station with your voter's card and ID, mark an X next to your chosen candidate, fold the ballot and present it to the poll officials who will tear off the ballot number and give you the ballot to deposit in the box. Where are the Great Lakes? A. Between Ontario and the United States. B. Manitoba. C. Northern Quebec. D. Atlantic Canada. Where does Canada rank in the world's largest countries? A. First, B. Second, C. Third, D. Fourth. Which country borders Canada on the south? A. United States of America. B. Central America. C. Mexico. D. Washington. Which federal political party is in power? A. Green Party. B. New Democratic Party. C. Liberal Party. D. Conservative Party. Which of the following is not a feature of Canada's system of government? A. A federal state. B. Parliamentary democracy. C. Constitutional monarchy. D. Dictatorship. Which of the following sentences best describes the War of 1812? A. Napoleon's fleet was defeated by the Royal Navy in the war. B. The USA became independent from the British Empire after the war. C. The USA invaded Canada and was defeated, which ensured that Canada would remain independent of the United States. D. Canada joined the United States after the war. Which of the following statements about residential schools is not true? A. The federal government placed many Aboriginal children in residential schools to educate and assimilate them into mainstream Canadian culture. B. The schools were poorly funded and inflicted hardship on the students. C. The schools were welcomed by the Aboriginal people. D. Aboriginal language and cultural practices were mostly prohibited. Which party becomes the official opposition? A. The party with the second most MPs. B. The party receiving the least votes. C. Any independent candidate. D. The party the Prime Minister selects. Which port is the largest and busiest in Canada? A. The Port of Halifax. B. The Port of Montreal. C. The Port of Vancouver. D. The Port of Victoria. Which province has its own time zone? A. British Columbia. B. Newfoundland and Labrador. C. Nunavut. D. Nova Scotia. Which province in Canada is the smallest in land size? A. Nova Scotia. B. Prince Edward Island. C. Yukon Territory. D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Which province is the main producer of pulp and paper and hydroelectricity? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. British Columbia. D. Manitoba. Which province is the only officially bilingual province? A. New Brunswick. B. Quebec. C. Ontario. D. Prince Edward Island. Which province was split into two at Confederation? A. Lower Canada. B. Newfoundland. C. Upper Canada. D. The Province of Canada. Which province was the first to grant voting rights to women? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. Nova Scotia. D. Manitoba. Which provincial flag features the fleur de lis? A. Quebec. B. New Brunswick, C. Manitoba, D. Ontario. Which region covers more than one-third of Canada? A. Central Canada. B. Prairies. C. Atlantic Canada. D. Northern Territories. Which region is known as the industrial and manufacturing heartland of Canada? A. Atlantic Provinces. B. Prairie Provinces. C. Central Canada. D. West Coast. Which region of Canada is known for both its fertile agricultural land and valuable energy resources? A. British Columbia. B. Prairie Provinces. C. Ontario. D. Manitoba. Which was the last province to join Canada? A. Newfoundland. B. Alberta. C. Saskatchewan. D. British Columbia. Who are the Aboriginal peoples of Canada? A. The first European settlers to arrive in Canada. B. The descendants of the first Australian immigrants to Canada. C. The first people to live in Canada. D. The first settlers of Newfoundland. Who are the founding peoples of Canada? A. Metis, French and British. B. Aboriginal, Metis and British. C. Inuit, Aboriginal and British. D. Aboriginal, French and British. Who are the Metis? A. The distinct Aboriginal people of Atlantic Canada. B. A people of mixed Inuit First Nations ancestry, most of whom live on the prairies. C. First Nations people speaking the Michif dialect. D. A distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. Who do members of Parliament represent? A. All of the Canadians living in the North. B. Only Canadians living in Central Canada. C. Everyone who lives in his or her electoral district. D. Canadians living in the province in which he/she was elected. Who had played an important part in building the Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR? A. American railroad engineers. B. Acadian railroad workers. C. Chinese railroad workers. D. African American slaves. Who has the right to run as a candidate in federal elections? A. Anyone. B. A Canadian citizen who is 16 years old. C. Any man who is at least 18 years old. D. Any Canadian citizen who is at least 18 years old. Who has the right to vote in federal elections? A. A Canadian citizen, 18 years or older, and on voters' list. B. A Canadian citizen, 18 years or older and must work for the federal government. C. A landed immigrant, 18 years old and a member of the Canadian Forces. D. A Canadian citizen, over 25 years and a member of the Canadian Forces who have major responsibilities on First Nations reserves. A. Band chiefs and councillors. B. Municipal governments. C. Provincial and territorial governments. D. Federal government. Who is Canada's head of state? A. Governor-General of Canada. B. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. C. Prime Minister. D. Lieutenant Governor. Who is considered the father of Manitoba? A. John A. Macdonald. B. Sam Steele. C. Alfred Boyd. D. Louis Riel. Who is the leader of the federal official opposition party? A. Thomas Miller. B. Stéphane Dion. C. Andrew Scheer. D. Elizabeth May. Who led an armed uprising and seized Fort Garry? A. John A. Macdonald. B. Louis Riel. C. Sam Steele. D. George Etienne Cartier. Who is Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine? A. A champion of democracy and Aboriginal rights. B. A champion of democracy and French-language rights and the first leader of a responsible government in the Canadas. C. The first head of state. D. The first French-speaking prime minister. Who is Sir Sam Steele? A. A great frontier hero, mounted policeman and soldier of the Queen. B. A military leader of the Metis in the 19th century. C. The first Prime Minister of Canada. D. The father of Manitoba. Who was the first leader of a responsible government in the Canadas in 1849? A. Sir John A. Macdonald. B. Robert Baldwin. C. Louis Riel. D. Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine. Who were the United Empire Loyalists? A. Settlers who came to Canada from the United States during the American Revolution. B. Aboriginal peoples. C. Metis. D. Inuit. Who were the voyagers? A. Montreal-based traders who traveled by canoe. B. Immigrants to Canada in the 18th century. C. Explorers searching for the Northwest Passage. D. Geographers who first charted the coastline of British Columbia. Why is the Battle of Vimy Ridge important? A. It was a key position of the German line in northern Spain. B. Canadian Corps secured its reputation for valor and bravery. C. It was the hinge of the German line as it protected the newly constructed Hindenburg Line. D. Once Canadians fought at Vimy, they knew they would be heading home. Why is trade with other countries important to Canada? A. It enhances our standard of living. B. It makes it easier for us to travel to foreign countries. C. It enhances our economy and raises our standard of living. D. It brings in cheaper goods. Reference: http://www.yourlibrary.ca/ citizenship/ index.cfm ? Province = AB